Good day, I'm Marina Kim, and here is the latest news from Kazakhstan. Pavlodar law enforcement agencies are investigating the circumstances of a lethal car accident involving the personal driver of the city mayor. It was revealed by the police during a special press conference that the 30-year-old driver was drunk driving at the time of the accident. According to eyewitnesses, on the night of June 25th, a Toyota Camry with official plates has substantially exceeded the Pavlodar city speed limit and hit a man. After the accident, the vehicle didn't slow down and dragged the body of the pedestrian some 60 meters before getting away from the scene. 3 days later, on June 28th, the Pavlodar mayor has confirmed the occurrence of the accident, which involved his driver. Supposedly, the mayor himself was not inside the car at the time of the accident, and he has already launched the internal investigation as to why the vehicle was used outside the working hours. The mayor's driver was fired and is currently under the house arrest. Don't these officials have any family members? None of them came to express condolences. I'm a mother, and although no one will return me my son, I would have forgiven the driver. Maybe he has a family too, but no one gives me any information about him. The OSCE conference delegates in Astana discussed an issue of political motivation of the famous human rights defender Yevgeny Zhovtis' prosecution. In the meantime, at the press briefing in the US Embassy, the OSCE head of mission in Kazakhstan told reporters that the law on the leader of nation does not really correspond to the principles of freedom of speech. Astana will host a two-day OSCE conference on June 29th and 30th. As part of the event, the participants will discuss the political motives of the trial on the human rights defender Yevgeny Zhovtis, said the head of the OSCE mission in Kazakhstan, Alexander Kilchevsky. He noted that Kazakhstan has ignored the appeal of the international community on the thorough examination of the Zhovtis case. Kilchevsky was rather cautious in his assessment of the legitimacy of the law on the nation's leader, saying only that each of 56 member states may give an individual evaluation to the situation with the controversial law.
The issue has been considered in some of the countries due to certain concerns about one of the law's provisions, which basically bans criticism of or negative evaluation of the president by mass media, and this actually doesn't fit with the main principles of the freedom of speech.
While the diplomats were making careful statements, on the same day Astana was celebrating the opening of a new university named after the first president. The Nazarbayev University is presented as an elite school with its activities covered by special regulations, students awarded scholarships, and the management structure featuring a very mysterious position of the only shareholder. Our next report has more details.
This is how the university's atrium looked like 2 months ago. The construction was speedily underway, with workers rushing to complete the project.
The first facility with the total area of 60,000 cubic meters will be launched by July 1st, in time for the city day.
On Monday, the tower cranes were replaced by TV cameras as the Nazarbayev University hosted a teleconference with all regions of the country. The main audience, though, were the first 500 students. The students could see to which heights they will lead Kazakhstan. The atrium featured stands with perspective industrial projects in miniatures. The mission of Nazarbayev University is to speed up the industrialization. The entire country will pay for the education of students here.
We expect that for some time our students will be sponsored by grants, because there is a concern that as soon as we introduce tuition fees, it could worsen the quality of education. It is likely that the tuition will be introduced later on. Nevertheless, the state can sponsor the education. Not even the state, but members of our society, including our prominent businessmen. They will be able to cope with this goal.
Freshman Aslan Kasimov is confident that it's worth it. He received a scholarship of almost $20,000 per year.
I think that my parents would not be able to pay for my education. On the other hand, if I would not win the scholarship, I would apply through Bolashak program abroad. So Kazakh students still have a choice and opportunities if they fail this program.
In addition, a special bill was developed specifically for the Nazarbayev University.
A special bill will be adopted soon, which provides for independence and academic freedom. I admit that in the beginning it will be extremely difficult to follow all these principles, but we will have to prove that this approach is the most correct, and in the end it provides for a better result.
Now the nation's leader has his own university named after him. The authorities hope that it will become one of the top education institutions in the world. In the meantime, though, the world only sees the highest price policies.
A worker of the ArcelorMittal Temirtau company died as a result of an accident in one of its mines on Saturday. The bulldozer driver fell into an 8-meter deep coal bunker and died instantly. While the accident is under investigation, the mining industry could possibly face a social explosion due to the number of recent lethal incidents.
The coal mining industry is facing great social challenges. Public organizations and labor unions have appealed to President Nazarbayev and Prime Minister Masimov, demanding the nationalization of ArcelorMittal Temirtau, a subsidiary of the transnational Arcelor Corporation. This strong political sentiment resulted from the oppressions of the local authorities toward the non-governmental public organization.
The situation with the workers' rights not only in ArcelorMittal but also in Kazakhmys and Kazakh and other corporations controlled by foreign companies may literally explode at any time.
Tamilova was planning to hold a rally in Shakhtinsk, criticizing the actions of the Karaganda regional administration and ArcelorMittal Temirtau. But instead of the rally, she ended up in the Shakhtinsk mayor's office. The official tried to convince Tamilova to cancel the rally in exchange for giving her office back and restoring water and electricity supply. The activists, however, found the offer a blatant case of blackmail.
They're acting as if they have nothing to do with what is going on and it's just a coincidence. I didn't buy it though, because I leased the office for 3 years and I never had any conflicts with landlords.
In order to protect the rights of regional organizations like Miners Family, the Almaty meeting participants decided to create the so-called protest centers in all problematic regions.
Today the government watches what the Miners Family does, struggling against it and trying to oppress it. We have to show that we'll resist similar actions as people are not lowbrow and all is well here.
Public movements and labor unions call each other for solidarity and demand to conduct a total inspection of the coal department for observance of the work safety regulations. Otherwise, the activists say they will hold mass rallies.
Another protest is taking place in the Pavlodar region. Desperate for justice, terrorism suspects are hunger striking against the police arbitrariness there. So far, though, the law enforcement agents respond to the action by taking down posters on the building across the street from the local police department.
3 residents of Pavlodar have started a hunger strike in protest of arbitrariness of the local internal affairs department. The venue is a rented apartment just across the street from the police station.
We know that police officers over there can plant drugs or firearms on anyone at any point. That's the reality now.
The protest has been planned in advance. Ivan and Amirjan came all the way from Ekibastuz to support their friend Erganat. The latter has already tried to bring public attention to the issue by rallying in front of the local mosque, although the police have cut it short immediately. Erganat claims that policemen had planted a gun on him and instigated a fabricated case as a result. After the unsanctioned campaign, he is trying another form of protest, this time legal. The man prepared a tent especially for this purpose, which he was going to install near the city stadium, where all kinds of meetings are normally held.
In order to avoid more problems, 2 more people from Ekibastuz have joined me in my protest. They also have signed suicide notes and appealed to region's prosecution office just in case.
When the city authorities refused to sanction the rally, the 3 protesters decided to hunger strike in a rented apartment. Meanwhile, the Internal Affairs Department representatives said the criminal case against these persons was instigated not for keeping a firearm.
A criminal case was instigated against these citizens on the charges of terrorism.
When asked why suspected terrorists are at large, the Internal Affairs official said that they are actually on house arrest. In the meantime, the protesters' posters on the wall of the building in front of the police station did not last even 10 minutes and were torn down by the police.